Hi, I'm Jacob Gordon and I'm living healthy every day. Today I want to talk to you about gluten. I'm sure you've heard about gluten intolerance and the whole gluten-free fad. I'm not here to discuss whether or not gluten-free is good or not, or what gluten intolerance is versus an allergy and the symptoms, etc. are, but by blood test I am actually allergic to 3 parts of wheat, and one of them happens to be gluten, and I tend to not eat grains. The topic of this video came up because last night I got glutened by having a beet burger that was fried in the same fryer as other breaded objects. So the topic today is gluten. I'm still recovering, so I'm gonna just rough through it and go with this video. And if you stick around until the end of the video, I'm gonna share with you a study that shows how 1 minute of intense exercise can be just as good as a whole 45-minute exercise. But let's talk about the main subject, which is gluten. Why have gluten intolerances and gluten allergies become much more prevalent today than they used to be? Well, let's take a journey back to the 1950s. There was a study done with frozen blood samples from Air Force recruits 50 years ago, which showed that people today are 4 times more intolerant to gluten today than they were 50 years ago. I'm gonna go through a few theories with you. There is a theory that everyone has a total gluten load in their bodies that they can handle within a lifetime, and when that's maxed out, you're gonna be sensitive to gluten, if not totally intolerant or allergic. And many older adults are developing gluten intolerances nowadays, and that's one theory as to why. If exposure to gluten causes gluten issues, here's what we've done to encourage the problem. The first one is our new wheat. Modern wheat has had its protein structures totally altered in such a way that impacts our digestion of wheat in general, which presents itself as a gluten intolerance. I'm not going to go specifically explain the science behind it in this video, but basically wheat chromosomes have increased dramatically from just a few to now 28. Number 2 is food processing gluten. Gluten is added to many things in the food processing industry, and it's added to like fake meats for vegetarians and things like that. And the number 3 is whole wheat bread phenomenon. The government's push towards whole grain breads, although it's well intended, has resulted in a whole generation of people eating extra gluten. Any whole wheat bread in the store and many whole wheat bread products and recipes include actually extra gluten above what's already intended in the wheat. Another theory of this is with our immune system. Some people may possess unidentified genes that cause their immune system to think of an undigested fragment of gluten protein that looks like a microbial invader. Number 2 is some people who consume gluten may have dysbiosis or damaged gut flora from antibiotics use or consuming foods that they cannot ingest, and feeding infants grains before they're able to digest it actually increases the risk of dysbiosis. So in this scenario, the immune system may see products as microbial invasions from dysbiosis. And the undigested gluten fragments can be tricking the immune system to think that they're microbial invaders. Number 3 is low nutrient diets, which may interfere with the body's ability to suppress immune cells that are capable of attacking harmless proteins. For example, one of the chemicals in the body that we use to suppress immune cells is TGF-beta, which is upregulated by vitamin A. A diet deficient in vitamin A might undergo the body's ability to keep its immune system from attacking harmless proteins like gluten. Another theory is that there's wheat on the market that is herbicide resistant. It's not genetically modified, but altered through a process called chemical mutagenesis. Sounds scary, right? Well, it is. It involves a process which exposes the seed to super poisonous chemicals as well as radiation with the intent of introducing a mutation. This is all unregulated and does not need labeling because it still counts as traditional breeding methods or hybridization rather than genetic modification, which is more highly regulated, and no safety testing is required for this. Another theory is about why today wheat shouldn't even be called wheat anymore. Modern wheat is the product of 40 years of genetics research, intensive efforts aimed at increasing yield per acre. The results is genetically unique plants that stands 18 to 24 inches tall, not the 4.5 feet with the amber waves of grain that is advertised in pictures and videos. Traditional wheat is long gone and has a product that has not been on shelves since 1985. Today, virtually all products made with wheat flour, regardless of whether it's organic, sprouted, multigrain, etc., originates from its high-yield, semi-dwarf creation of genetics research. The only brand I know that hasn't undergone this extensive hybridization to increase the yield is called Purity Foods. Well, thanks guys for watching, and since you stuck around until the end of the episode, I believe you're dedicated enough to maximizing your health. So I'd like to share with you this study about exercise. According to a sophisticated new study of interval training, benefits may come from very little. In this experiment, in fact, 60 seconds of strenuous exertion proved to be as successful at improving health as fitness as 3/4 of an hour, so 45 minutes. Let me repeat one thing. 1 minute of arduous exercise was comparable in physiological effects of 45 minutes of gentler sweating. I do HIIT, or high intensity interval training myself, a type of workout that consists of an extremely draining but burst of release exercise. Essentially, it's a sprint followed by a light exercise such as jogging or resting, and then another sprint, more rest, and so on, or you can do it with weights or whatever. But in the past few years, exercise scientists and many of the rest of us have become intrigued by the idea of exercising exclusively with intervals, ditching long-term workouts and altogether. So basically, in this study, what they did was they divided 25 out-of-shape men into 3 groups, one being a control group that did nothing, another into a typical endurance workout routine consisting of riding in a modern pace at a stationary bicycle for 5 minutes with a 2-minute warm-up and 3-minute cool-down, and then a third group that warmed up for 2 minutes on stationary bicycles, then pedaled as hard as possible for 20 seconds, rode at a very slow pace for 2 minutes, sprinted all out for another 20 seconds, and recovered with slow riding for another 2. Oh, and they pedaled all out for 20 seconds, then cooled down for another 3 minutes. And the entire workout lasted 10 minutes, with only 1 minute of that time being strenuous. This study was conducted over 12 weeks, and by the end of the study, endurance group had ridden for 27 hours total, while the interval group had ridden for 6 hours, with only 36 minutes of the time being actually strenuous. But when scientists retested the subjects' aerobic fitness, muscles, and sugar control, they found that the exercise actually showed virtually identical gains, whether they had completed long endurance workouts or the short, grueling intervals. In both groups, endurance had increased by 20%. Obviously, there was no change in the control group, but the upshot of these results is that 3 months of concentrated endurance or interval exercise can notably and almost identically improve someone's fitness and health. If you're an athlete, then obviously incorporating both endurance and interval training into an overall program will maximize your performance. But if you're someone like me who just wants to boost your fitness and health, then you don't have to do 45-minute workouts to an hour. The data shows that you can get these big benefits from just doing a single minute of exercise. Thanks again, guys, for watching. And if you like this video, please like it. It really helps me out and lets me know that you're enjoying these informative videos. And if you have any questions or comments, please write down below. I'd love to hear anything you have to say, and all your feedback will help my videos. I'd love to improve them and love to serve you. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so below. And for more information on quick tips and how to maximize your body, head over to my Facebook page. And if you're dedicated to jumpstarting your life today and getting healthy fast, then head over to my website, livinghealthyallday.com, and sign up to get a free guide on how to build up your adrenals with food and proper diet and supplements. That's all for this video. Have a fantastic day and stay beautiful.